Welcome to Networking with Nathaniel, a podcast where I get to stand here and talk to movers and shakers in their industries, entrepreneurs, high achievers who come on, share their successes, share their struggles, so we can all learn from them. I am Nathaniel Hovsepian, host of Networking with Nathaniel. Go figure. I am a health and wellness coach for high achieving men. I help them rebuild their health from the inside out through their mitochondrial health, as we're going to talk about with our amazing guests today, and their mindset. I am also a real estate investor. I have done millions of dollars in real estate transactions. I've helped many men take control of their health and wellness. More importantly, I am a husband. I'm a father of 3 little, beautiful, amazing people who are all under the weather right now. So I'm fighting this off. But this show is not about me. This is about those guests that I mentioned at the top of this rant. Before I mention my guest today, who is esteemed, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, what the heck are you doing? Subscribe to the channel so you can see all the other guests that are coming on, all the other videos that I am coming out with, so you can take control of your health, because it's the most important thing on your to-do list every single day. Without further ado, my guest today, 3 7-figure companies in his short career as an entrepreneur. It's about to be 4. He is the leader of the fitness coaching community that I am a part of, the greatest fitness coaching community on the planet, ECA, Elite Coaching Academy. He has been a staple in the bodybuilding industry. I think he said 22 IFBB Pro cards. That's insane. He has reworked the way that we look at fitness, the way we look at bodybuilding, going from that biology aspect, literally, like I said, from the inside out. Without further ado, Justin Mihaly is muted. There we go.
What's happening, Nathaniel? What a great introduction. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to chat with you and hopefully bring some of that ECA sauce.
I didn't mention too that, this is a podcast. You had a very well-renowned podcast as far as the health and wellness goes. It's Grow or Die.
Yeah, Grow or Die podcast. Yeah, before we got booted off YouTube, we were the #2 health and wellness podcast in America. So we were doing about 2.5 million total downloads per month, which was quite insane.
Yeah.
Let's see, I believe we just posted episode 492. YouTube did shut us down again. Too much traction too fast. But one thing about me is I might lose the battle, but I'll never lose the war. So we'll be back up soon. So right now we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But man, growing a podcast is hard. It is brutal. It is, the meme where there's a miner on top and a miner at the bottom, and the miner at the bottom is walking away with the pick when he's a couple swings away from getting the jewelry, but the guy at the top is still swinging and he's going to get the jewelry. That is a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a podcast. It's a metaphor for success, but definitely a podcast.
I've used that. I've talked about that specific meme on this podcast and on other podcasts. There's so many aspects of entrepreneurship, but like health, just life in general, that freaking meme applies to. And it just pops in my head so many times. Oh, yep. I mentioned that this is your third, man, I don't even know if I want to. Yeah, this is ECA is your third 7-figure company. What were what were the first 2?
Yeah, so we had Team Mahaley, which was a coaching company, and then retooled, rebranded, really did my entire thing. We brought together More Fitness into being a 7-figure company. And then in January of this year, I was looking around and, the team that I work with, they serve their purpose. But I wasn't surrounded by pros that can push me forward. I was surrounded by people who I was pulling forward constantly. And so I let that entire thing go. January 21st of this year is when EC officially started. And there was only 1 employee in the company. Now we got 24. And after this week, we'll have 26 or 27. We're scaling unbelievably quickly, to say the least. So it's been great. It's been awesome. I've made every mistake that somebody can possibly make. But here we are, like we're still cranking. Like I said, I might lose the battle, but I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to lose the war.
Because you have that gem in your mind that you're picking at. You're just picking away at it, and I love that.
Yeah,
But,
just keep swinging.
So I mentioned at the top of this, like I was a real estate investor. I've been coaching my entire life. It was just recently that I decided to, hey, make a business out of it, take it a little bit more seriously, start learning a little bit more of the biology. That's how I got drawn to you, right? And unlike I think most of the people that are probably in your sphere, I haven't known you for very long. I wasn't following you. I'm not a I'm not a scroller on Instagram or all the things. So it was like I said, okay, I saw the value of it in my real estate career. I can go learn from somebody and take 5 years worth of experience and cram it into 3 months or 6 months, right? And accelerate myself. And so I did research. I'm like, okay, who's the freaking the badass, for lack of a better word, that I can go learn from? And here's Justin. I think I had 2 other people that I like interviewed, and like, nah, I prayed about it. This is the one. This is the way I'm going. Make a decision, go with it, run with it. I've been a part of Sub 2, which is the greatest real estate investing community, like the greatest real estate community on planet Earth. And so I saw like the value in the community. What was it that you said, man, I got to make a community? Like, was there a spark or like something where you decided I got to build
forward? So way forward. I've run companies that were fully Justin Mihaly reliant, and everyone was just kind of like looking up. I'm the mother hen, and all of the baby hens are trying to get fed from the mother. Well, that's very draining. And I absolutely hated that. And it felt like whatever Justin says goes. And it's just an echo chamber of whatever I want. Well, that sucked. I want there to be professionals and adults in the room who are all going to come together to collaborate, to share ideas, who are all on an even playing field. And inside of the Elite Coaching Academy, we very much so have that. You know, you guys talk to my team all day, every day. And my team is very well trained in the place I want them trained, but I never strip curiosity away from them. And I never strip their internal creativity away from them. I want to ignite that and empower that. So I don't want my team to be 100% Justin's beliefs. I want it to be about 50-50. And when you get that, what you get is far more innovation. You also get people to be way happier. Like, dude, my internal team is thrilled with the work we do. The culture here is absurd. Well, if the culture in the internal team is absurd, what's the culture going to be like in the external team? And that's the 223 members that we have inside the Elite Coaching Academy and the 98 members that we have inside the Elite Functional Health, our one-to-one coaching cohort. The communities are ballistic. I mean, like we're the number one community.
I have to shut the chat off sometimes.
I know. I'm doing I was doing a podcast yesterday on my computer, and just like today, it's like, damn, you got to X out of WAP because it's just going to be clicking all day. And it's like, how cool is that? Like, if you're struggling, like if you're feeling down, if you're feeling lack of creativity, you could just go in the community and there's people sharing these wins or those wins or whatever wins. We have money wins. We have social media wins. We have health coaching wins. We have every kind of win that you can possibly have happening at once. And it's like, dude, if you leave that, you're not fired up, then this just ain't for you. So yeah, it's fun. You know, every day on average right now, we have 82 operators in ECA. Our average is 82 unique operators are contributing to the community every day. Plus my team. You're getting 100 people every single day sharing their ideas and adding value. Come on. Like, there's no other way forward. There's no other way forward. You can't go from ECA to a mentorship or a coaching operation that doesn't have that community. It would be impossible. So I'm really proud, in case you can't tell, of what we've built. And you're a fantastic spark of energy to that as well, Nathaniel. You come in, you always have such a positive attitude. You're always every time you add something to a group. It's never draining. It's always uplifting. And, we appreciate that about you.
Yeah, thank you. I like it. That did not come easily when I started, right?
Yeah.
I came out of the Marine Corps, PTSD, depression, like all those things, and it was entrepreneurship and the mindset that you have to be successful as an entrepreneur that really got me out of that cycle of depressed and sad and all those things all the time. Like, I don't have time for that. I just got to move on to the next best, my next action. And something you mentioned, it just, you brush right over it because you've talked about this so much and it's a part of you, is the community. And a lot of the people that listen to this podcast, at least up until now, are real estate investors, entrepreneurs. And so they're trying to build a team. And you mentioned I don't want it to just be my thoughts going in. And I've learned a lot from your team, but all the other coaches that are in there coming. I get to see, because we're interacting on social media a lot, like I get to see all the stuff that they're taking from you or taking from their own experience, and I go, oh man, that's interesting. I never thought of things that way. How can I apply that to what I'm doing? And I am, like I said, just getting started out. And so I sometimes come in and I have that compare and despair a little bit. And I have to just go back like, no, they're in a different place. They've been doing this for longer. And sometimes it's like they're 27. I'm 41. I've got a wife and 3 kids. Like I've got a real estate business that I'm running as well, alongside with my wife. So I can't compare to that. I can't compare to what they're doing. I don't know. I just went off on a rant here. Sorry, but
Yeah.
I tend to do that.
Me too. That's okay.
You mentioned that you made a bunch of mistakes. If you had a couple that you could pick out from that maybe somebody out there listening could overcome because you made them, what would those be?
Oh, leading from ego is very much so number one. The my way or the highway approach, I definitely don't do that. Now, I will say how I run my company now. I have 24 employees and everyone's very well trained. And I mean, you've probably seen me be unkind to certain people inside the community who got booted out of the community.
I haven't seen.
My team, oh man, there's been some juicy stuff.
I've seen some. I've seen the aftermath, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. Justin's not always right. In fact, my team is always right. So if Kevin brings me something and I have a different opinion, that's Kevin's. Kevin's a creative director. Miranda's client success director. Drew's sales director. Shannon's the head of marketing. You guys are right. I might think differently, but do it your way and let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And, that works really well because also things move way faster in a company. Now, when it comes to like inside the client service portion, my team is always right. And my team's not wrong. And we are very dialed. And I don't say that. That's not out of a place of ego. That's out of a place of look how well this shit is working. Yeah. We have 101 operators in 7 months clearing $20K a month. Yeah, my team's right. We have 6 people over $100K a month. Yeah, I think my team's right. So running from ego is a place of Justin's always right. And what that got me was an echo chamber of mediocrity. And I call it mediocrity when like on paper it looked like we were doing well. Whatever weekend we're winning shows. But it wasn't above mediocrity. If you're not surrounded by people that you're empowering to be creative, to be themselves, to forge their own path within the guardrails of your company, you don't have a company. You have a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And those don't tend to work very well long-term in terms of how much progress and innovation we get out. When's the last time a dictator country innovated something? They don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And companies are the exact same way. So I want to run my company leading from the front, empowering each person who has a role to run their role their way. And you have to have adults who do that. A lot of the people who work for me have come from corporate background. A lot of people who work with me come from this freelance background. And a lot of people who work with me come from a academically esteemed background. And a lot of people work with me have high school education and nothing more. That is a beautiful melting pot.
Yeah.
I've never once asked somebody, I've never looked at a resume. I
Really?
don't care about your resume. I
Mm.
couldn't possibly care less about something. When I hop on a call with you, number one, how prompt are you to the call? How prepared are you to discuss with me? Number two, I'm going to just assess your energy, and not everyone's energy needs to be like exuberant and outgoing. My sales director needs to have charisma.
Mm.
My creative director needs to be highly creative. My client success director needs to be very prompt and sharp and a little bit ruthless.
Okay.
My marketing director needs to understand data and analyzing data. So I don't need everyone to be obnoxious and outgoing. I need everyone to be organized. But, my creative director is right in front of me. I don't need Kevin to be as organized as Miranda.
Right.
My client success director, right? So there's different levels of different attributes for these roles. But if all I had, Nathaniel, was people who had PhDs working for me, everything would take 10 times longer.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be much innovation. They would be thinking in thought loops and patterns. Whereas if I had a whole bunch of people who were high school graduates and nothing more that only did freelance work, they'd probably only have so much of an upper ceiling that they'd be able to think with.
Mm.
So I do a nice little mixture of all of the above.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful way to run a company. And other people might disagree with that. But that's what simply works for me.
I'd say, I think you've said a quote around this like similar thing before, but like other people might say something different than that. Well, do other people have 3 7-figure businesses?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did I say recently? I was talking about PIFs versus MRR. And I was like, dude, there's a lot of people disagree with me on this. They don't make as much money as I do. So here's the sauce.
Yeah.
But again,
Explain.
I had a tweet last night. And I think that this is important. It said, having a big ego is only a bad thing to insecure gremlins that never achieve anything anyways. And then I, list my accolades. And I was like, yeah, I got a big ego, fam. I earned it.
Yeah.
I think everyone should feel that way. Everyone should strive to have a gigantic ego. Why the fuck would I go through life being humble?
Yeah.
If I don't hype me up, why would you?
Mm.
That's my take.
That's something you're very good at. Like, it's interesting too, man. Okay, I have a couple thoughts here. That you're very good at leading with that. Look at my accolades, like, but not from a place of just like, hey, look at my accolades. Like, you speak it, and whenever somebody's listening, I mean, me, like, I listen to like, oh my gosh, that like he knows what the heck he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and then like a lot of the times by level 3, I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, and like you mentioned too that you're, how did you say it? Like, I'm not going to be the one that's always right. It's interesting that you say that when you're so knowledgeable about so many things that you are most of the time right, but you're willing to allow somebody to change your mind.
A great argument changed my mind.
Yeah, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of that these days.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of great arguments that people have. It's weird. People get on social media and they get angry by things. I'm like, you guys are so weird. Like, Nathaniel, I have never once in my entire life scrolled on social media and felt angry about something. Like, people with gigantic followings make content attacking me and somehow they turn my biological beliefs into like some character attack, and I'm scrolling, I'm seeing this, and that's not real life. I don't care. Like, you're not someone I would hang out with. You're not someone who I would agree to help in ECA, and you're not someone that gets into the same places that I get into. So why does this matter? It's not real life. But a great argument, a like civil argument. You start like doing the character insults and stuff, and it's like, well, you already lost. Like, man, how many times have I changed my mind? Holy cow, I've changed my mind thousands of times.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great argument happening.
I've talked about this on my socials before. It's like I went 7, I think, years intermittent fasting every day. Once a month was doing a 36-hour on the weekend. And it wasn't until I came in, like, I thought that was the way. Hey, like, from evolutionary standpoint, we wouldn't, we'd fast. We wouldn't eat for, 3 days. I was talking to somebody else, like, is that true? Or did they just follow a herd around and like, hey, I'm hungry, like, kill a herd? Maybe that was the case. And then I come in here and like learning about, oh man, what am I doing? And now, I don't have it. It's over by the table. Like, I have my thermometer throughout the day, which is opening my eyes over the past like month. Holy moly, what have I done to myself? And so I want.
What are your temps at?
Low.
How low? How low?
They've been coming back. I was waking up at like 96.
Okay.
This is going back to about a week ago.
Okay.
This week I have cut out everything. I am on a cup of rice, 6 eggs, and a cup of berries 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And it just over the week now, I'm waking up at 97, 97.4. What's interesting though, okay, we're gonna get into coaching mode now.
Yeah, let's go.
I had a feeling this is gonna happen. After my first meal, it's dropping.
So we're still waking up with a stress hormone response.
Yeah, I'm waking up all right, and then it's dropping.
Yeah, that means we have high cortisol, so we'll be low insulin in the morning. We want some insulin to respond in the morning to after cortisol to like really wake us up. What we want to happen, cortisol gets released into the bloodstream. This starts happening around 4 or 5 a.m. when we should start waking up naturally. And then over about an hour and a half, it's going to slowly release, and then it wakes us up. So we should wake up feeling alert. But most people wake up feeling brain fog and not super well. We can get into that. But we should wake up feeling pretty alert. After this, blood glucose is going to get released into our body to pull that cortisol back down. And then insulin is going to drive up. But when we don't have enough blood glucose, when we don't have a good enough insulinogenic response, that cortisol is going to linger. Could even get some norepinephrine. We can get some adrenaline in there. And that's what's now alerting us and waking us up. And we're going to have a little tiny bit of those things by proxy. But we just, ratios matter. If there's one thing you guys learn at ECA with biology, ratios matter, right? Yeah. So what you're seeing is after meal 1, we're seeing the temperatures drop down. This means that we have a stress response that is getting cleared. That body temperature is being driven up by adrenal hormone. Our body's heating up from that. Now we're pushing those back down, and now we have the insulinogenic response start to happen. Now we start to have more blood glucose go into the bloodstream. I would recommend for meal 1 getting a bigger blood glucose response. So what I'm thinking is like 2 whole eggs, 10 ounces of orange juice, and a cup and a half of jasmine rice or white rice, whatever kind you prefer.
Yeah, jasmine, that's it.
Berries are great because in the morning, it's going to supply your liver with some fructose. Something maybe more impactful for the time being would be a banana, so we can get some potassium in there, which is very pro-metabolism as well.
Okay.
I would like to see 2 whole eggs, cup and a half of rice, 10 ounces of OJ, and a banana. And then let's see how you feel from there. Make sure we have a good bit of salt on the rice and the eggs.
Oh yeah,
yeah, good. So then, with that, people who like a high salt intake are probably not going to have a great potassium sodium ratio. I like that around 1 to 1.5. So
Yeah.
even more the reason for things like bananas or maybe a white potato throughout the day can be very beneficial. There's a lot of potassium in there. Um, so I would love to see that and see if that starts helping more. But the number one mover, right off the rip for low body temps is going to be a B1, like a benfontamine. Taking that about 50 milligrams with the first 2 meals of the day can be very beneficial for us. Um, I mean that just helps us utilize our glucose much more effectively in our body. B1 vitamin, that is the glucose metabolism vitamin. So if you don't handle carbs well, or you feel brain fog after eating carbs, you're really just B1 deficient. And it's super easy to fix. So I would love to
See,
see how that experiment goes.
so you have not you. I mean, let's say ECA, but I think it's a lot like, right, Lindsay, you can correct me here, with the March method. And
Yep.
I kind of skipped over M for me personally because I don't have a lot of this. I don't have, I wake up, I'm ready to go, like 4:45, I'm out of bed, I'm across. I'm coming out here getting my day started. I don't have afternoon energy dips. I don't feel like I have brain fog. Like, I just, for purposes of gut, like I cut kind of everything out. I just was like,
Yeah.
my gut's gurgly sometimes, and like that shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't have a couple times a week where I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
Yep.
When, so I kind of skipped over. I'm like, I haven't even gotten to the R yet. I'm like, I need, I want to get to the point, and I have a question here where I can just rattle things off like you just did, right? And I
Yeah.
know that comes with time,
Yeah.
but how did you go? How do you get to that point? How did you get to this point where you can just talk like this? I mean, is it literally just, it's been 15 years and you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have more reps than anybody else has. I mean, I've probably worked with more clients than what anybody else has worked with.
Hmm,
So if you work with more clients than anybody else has, if you solve bigger problems than what everyone else is solving, if you're constantly striving to learn more, to be better, to do more, then I mean, what happens? You just learn a ton of shit. And also, dude, I'm such a nerd. I mean, I am just such a nerd. Like, it is insane how nerdy I am.
yeah.
I the dopamine response that I get from learning new things or having a new perspective, I'm grateful. It's a superpower to me. And also, I definitely get stuck in thought loops, and I'll learn a new piece of information, and I'm on it for an hour in the day, and it's like you lose that hour. But
Did
I've
you?
read so many books. Yeah, right. Did you really?
Yeah.
I've did just the amount of physiology and biology and the amount of food books and the amount of just the stuff that I've read, and the people that I've also, Nathaniel, I've had 380 doctors on my podcast. 380 people saw my content, the way that I do things, and they either wanted to challenge me or they wanted to come on and add more context.
Mm,
For an hour and a half, I'm sitting in a room with their undivided attention, with someone that, just yesterday I was on a podcast with a man I've looked up to for a very long time. I couldn't believe when he invited me on, Dr. Bob Rakowski.
mm,
And like, I'm sitting across from him in this podcast, and he's asking me all of these questions that he's trying to learn from me. Like,
yeah.
dude, you better be dialed if you're going on a podcast with some people who, one, will understand my viewpoint and put themselves and their PhD and their credential
Mm,
on the table for us to have debate or conversation right now.
yeah.
You better be on. You better be locked in. And I've lost some of those. I've changed my mind to some of those.
Yeah,
Most of them,
I
I
heard you
didn't.
say this, I think it was inside the community recently, is like, you use the word lost, which I wouldn't have used personally. Like, I
I'm
don't,
fine losing a battle. I'll never lose the war.
well, I don't see that as a loss. Like, okay, you said something that made me rechange my thing. To me, that's a win.
Yeah.
I could understand. I understand what you're saying. Like, it was a debate. We had our point of views. Mine lost, but it made me grow and become I have a different perspective, a better perspective now. And
Yeah.
so I see that as a win. You
So,
mentioned
so it's like you don't lose, you learn. You don't
yeah.
lose, you learn. I live life in W's and L's, and I'm okay taking an L. I'm fine with an L. But if I don't lose and I learn, then I also can't win. I
Yeah, you
need
got
a
to take
scoreboard.
yeah.
I need a
You got to take.
scoreboard.
You got to add the L to the L, the learn to
Yeah,
the L.
yeah,
I like
I
that. Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I like that. You mentioned like there's not that we have to pump ECA up any more than we already have, and we could continue doing other things. But you mentioned like having all the reps, and that's one thing that I was hesitant actually for the first 6 weeks or so after joining the community to go to the case studies because like it's over my head. But I'm going, okay, for people that are out there listening, case studies like people bring kind of client issues, personal issues, bring them into a group, and we kind of break them down and go, okay, this is where we may be looking at things. So it's essentially you're getting extra reps, client repetitions
Yep.
from the lenses of the doctors, Justin, other coaches in the community. And so I like, dude, I just got to get off that. I'm not going to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to know what I'm talking about. But hey, how the heck am I going to learn if not by getting into the room with people that do know what the heck they're talking about?
Exactly.
So that's an aspect of the community that is really, I think, super impactful and more. I didn't realize there was over 200 people in ECA at this point, but more people need to get in there or at least watch the replays because like they're breaking down stuff from the cellular level and like it all starts down there.
That's how the body should be viewed. Like, where is what's the first law of entropy is creating energy. Where the fuck do we create energy?
Yeah.
At the cell, in the mitochondria.
Yeah.
And every disease that we have, almost every, is an energy creation based disease. Why are we taking things? Why are we doing anything at all before we dive into, hey, how well is your body bringing in proteins, fats, carbohydrates, taking oxygen from the breath that you breathe, combining that at the mitochondrial level to create ATP? How well is it doing that? No, we don't do that. We don't do, well, we do. We don't do that in Westernized medicine.
Yeah.
We take an approach that further suffocates this energy creation. We take an approach that gives everyone CO2 intolerance, that disallows oxygen to be utilized appropriately. And we act like that is okay. And we give medicines and we have foods and other things that are put into our body that very recently people have come around to realizing, hey, those things aren't good for us. Why are you putting that in my body?
Or on.
We have endocrine disruptors. We have stuff like 99% of the sunscreen that you put on your skin.
Yeah.
That is slowly destroying. Honestly, Nathaniel, you know how I view it from a lens of, thank God we're doing the work we're doing, and not everyone's meant to be saved, and not everyone wants to undergo unbrainwashing of the things that we've learned. And some people want to be little puppets, for Westernized pharmaceuticals, and that's okay. I don't respect you guys, but I see you guys, and you guys can be that way. And we have, similar to the people who hate online, we wouldn't be friends in real life. I don't want to help you in ECA, and you can't get into the places I can get into. So why would your opinion matter? Right. So I live my life a bit segregated now because you can't keep that energy around you. if I'm trying to become a billionaire, Nathaniel, why would I hang out with somebody who struggles to keep a job?
It just wants to go pull you down.
Okay, I'm trying to live the most jacked and healthy life that I possibly can. Why would I hang out with people that don't agree with that assertion?
Yeah.
I don't have friends who disagree with my health stances, not because, well, it's kind of hard to disagree with my health stances, but like I don't have people around me. And Nathaniel, I think it's that important.
Yeah.
I don't care much about people who's their favorite sports team or who their fucking politician is. Although I guess health has become a little politicized now, which I think is absurd. Of course they want it to be.
It really is.
But like, I do care about how you respect your body. And I think that we should all hold that standard.
Yeah.
And if you don't respect your body in a manner that I do, if you don't talk to yourself the way that I talk to myself, if you don't honor yourself, why would we be around those people, man? And for you, like, you're a family man, you're a faith-based man.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you surround yourself with people that disrespect their family or that disrespect your faith? You would never do that.
No.
I think we should all hold those standards.
Well, you said the way you talk to yourself, and that's interesting. And somebody reframed the way I talk to myself, or the way we talk to ourselves, as like that. If you wouldn't accept somebody else saying it to you, or even more to like your spouse or your best, then why the heck are you talking to yourself like that? And it's so crazy how much we reframe. That was something I learned when I started in my entrepreneurship journey. Like, you can't talk to yourself. And I see even that statement. Because the little words matter, and the way our subconscious accepts those words matter. And then on the other point, that you just like brush through these things because they're second nature to you, but a lot of people out there might not catch them, is like, you're a product of what you surround yourself with. And you said, I don't really have aspirations to be a billionaire. That's not my thing. Like, you do. And so you need to, well, okay. Well, yeah.
Not really. It was just an extreme example.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if I can become a billionaire coaching online fitness coaches. I might need to switch my career.
Well, yeah, you never know what the next little thing, the next thing you're going to learn from this experience might be that triggers that. But yeah, like, you're not surrounding yourself with those people that are going to be negative Nancy's all the time, that are online just constantly thumb wars and those things like that. That just brings me down. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm from 4:45 in the morning till 8:30 at night when I'm sitting down to journal. I'm going. I don't have time for that.
I am dominating.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, how do you have time to argue online? Me and Nathaniel are busy dominating.
Yeah, I don't think I'm dominating. I love it. What? I need more Justin. That's what I need.
Dude, I don't understand. I don't understand. While there are people on threads arguing with me right now. Yeah. And I've already got my workout in. We've sold a $12,000 deal this morning. I've posted 6 times across social media. I got a little bit of a run in. I've done all my peptides and my supplements. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And I'm on a podcast with you.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've drank about a half gallon of milk. You're right. Yeah. I'm dominating, and you're angry that I said that you're low T.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you have many other problems than what I just said.
Yeah. That is so funny.
What's I know that you've got goals, and we're coming up at the end of to 2025. What was the 2025 goal for you?
It's crazy what I thought was going to happen in 2025. We did a hard right turn. Right turn. Yeah. Down a much better path. Coming into 2025, I felt pretty lost. I didn't want to be coaching people the way that I was coaching anymore. My mentorship was picking up a lot of steam. This was before ECA. My mentorship was picking up a lot of steam. I knew that I wanted to and needed to go all in on a route that was not coaching. To be honest, I lost a bit of my love for coaching because I achieved everything I wanted to achieve.
Hmm.
There was nothing more I wanted to achieve in bodybuilding coaching.
Yeah.
Around this time last year, the amount of attention that I was getting in terms of inquiries was unlike anything I'd ever seen. I knew that I was very good at running fitness-based businesses. So one goal that I had was get more involved in non-fitness based stuff. I have done that. I've done some angel investing. I've done I've invested in 6 or 7 restaurants this year. I'm very involved in hospitality here in Austin. I've had way more fun than I've ever had any other year in my life. This has definitely been like, I am working hard and I am playing hard, and I'm really enjoying that. I wanted to have that. I wanted to stay in peak physical shape, and I feel very good about where I'm at. I wanted to get back into running very badly, and I have done that. I'm very proud of myself for that. I was a former Division I athlete at the University of Cincinnati. I was a sprinter in track, and I wanted to get back to it. But it's like, you tell yourself, well, like you're 30, you're 32, and like this hurts and that hurts. Whatever. Like, shut the fuck up and go do it.
Yeah.
And now I've done it, and I mean, that's the hardest thing. The hardest thing that I will possibly do on any given day is I'll do my hill sprints. If I can do the hardest thing and I choose to do that, I could not do my hill sprints. I could sit here in my house and I could go turn the Xbox on upstairs, which I think has been turned on once since I moved in, and I could not do my hill sprints.
Yeah.
And that would be way easier. But why would you look up to me?
Yeah.
Why would a father and a husband look up to me if I'm not intentionally doing hard things? I'm not a father. I'm not a husband. I'm a man running companies, staying in peak physical condition in the best manner that I can without a lot of variables standing in the way. So why would you look up to me? And the fact that I have so many, 40 to 55-year-old men and women inside of ECA who are moms and dads, who are husbands and wives, who are parents, like, that shit drives me. So I do my fucking hill sprints.
Yeah.
So I get up early.
Yeah.
So I jump in the pool when it's freezing cold, because it is getting cold here now.
It's not that cold in Austin.
Yeah, this morning it was like 60 something, and I kind of felt soft. I was like, man, I got this. When we hopped on the call, I had this sweatshirt on, and I was like, this is kind of pathetic.
That's I think it was a live the other day. I'm like, it's pretty cold out here. I'm about to do my kettlebells. And then I'm realizing, like, okay, there's people that follow me from like upper New York, and okay, it's 45 degrees. It's not that cold.
It's not that cold. I know it's 60 degrees. It's not that cold.
Yeah.
It's not that cold. But I always have financial goals. The financial goal for 2025 was I wanted to do $1.2 million. We've tripled that by now.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of that. And so now I'm looking 2026. It's coming up, and I've got some stuff in my head that, let's go 15 M's. You know how many people I can impact if the company's turning 15 M? Like, that's a lot of humans that I get to impact. That's a movement that I get to curate and drive forward. So I know that that's going to be a goal.
Is there, with regard to the community, is there a number of people that you're like, I don't want it to exceed that? Or is this a grow it as big as you freaking can?
Let's go. I mean, we've been around, what is it right now? What's the date today? It is October 30th. So we're at 9 months. The way this thing has evolved and grown in 9 months is absurd. There's always problem solving. There's always evolution. I mean, we have three things coming out for you guys over the next 3 weeks that are just so, no one else is doing this. They're so far ahead of where we're at right now. No one else offers this for their community, and we're going to keep doing that. And, as more things need to happen, as more stuff needs to be built, I just invest in it. I invest in the people, or I invest in the build, or I invest in the dev, or I invest in the ops, whatever. Let's go get 100,000 people in EC. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck else are you going? There's nowhere else to go.
You like, it's cool being on this side of the, like, because I do see it growing. I can see it growing, and especially having you said that, I see it growing, right? If you would have said like, I don't want it over 500 people, whatever that number would have been, then okay, then it's not going to grow that big. But when I joined Sub 2, the real estate community that I'm a part of, there was like 4,500 people or something like that in there. So like, it had already begun to really grow. There's like 25,000 people or something like that. It's a little different, right? Because it's real estate. So there's not that we're not working together, like we're all learning together, but we're not like we're not going and taking on clients together where you do that in real estate. Like you partner up on deals.
Who knows? Maybe we create that.
I mean, that's what I was getting.
Who knows?
We're at 200. We're at 200 plus right now, right? And by the time it gets to 1,000, there may be different, like there might be regional things going on. Like you don't know. That's like, that's really,
I can see that happening.
Yeah, and that's what I see with mine too. Like my community's 10 people right now, right? And I'm trying to make sure that the number 11 fits in really well, and we build this really strong community. But like, I wanted to get to 15,000 to where there's like regional leaders and like different, like, hey, every month we got something going on, or maybe every week, like there's things going on, and Fit Fatherhood is a nationwide entity, or like, like a living, I couldn't find a word, that like a living, breathing thing there.
Entity, brand. It should be.
Yeah.
You deserve to be. Why not you? Why would you not have that?
Exactly. And like you said, I get, especially from a faith standpoint, it's like, and blending the entrepreneurs, like I've gotten stuck on that number, like the finance number, right? And you said 15 million 2026, but then you said immediately afterwards, think of how many people I've impacted if I get that there. And I had for a long time, like it was just a number.
Yeah.
And it was just about me number. Oh, I could do this if I had that number. I could do that if I was making that much money. And it didn't. And like, there's a reason you don't achieve that. It's because it doesn't have any. Yeah, like it doesn't matter to me. It didn't really matter. I'm pretty comfortable. I'm pretty happy. I'm content with I love my life the way it is. Like, why am I going to go seek that? Well, because you didn't have it inside that you were going to go impact a buttload of people by going and crushing that number. Yeah. Okay. I'll get off the highway. Well, I want to make
the next level of growth for brand and for finance comes when you're happy with what you got right now. If you're sitting there thinking about all the things you lack, we're just pulling this scarce energy from the universe for it to show you more stuff that you lack, for it to give you more opportunities for you to be jealous of other people or envious of other people, for the opportunity that is on your timeline to be pushed further away because you're not evolved enough for it. To your point, brother, you're happy with what you got. Now it's going to start pouring.
Yeah.
And we just got to stay happy. I don't care what someone else has. I don't care if someone else has a house 10 times bigger than mine. I don't give a shit. I love my house.
Yeah.
I don't care if someone else's friend group is 10 times bigger. I love my friends.
Yeah, I love my friends. Like, good for them to have a big friend group. Nice. Like you move into your giant house and there's a buttload of people that are hating on you. Why? Dude, he wants to live in a big house and he's earned it.
Exactly.
Like, what the heck? I don't want to live in a giant house. That's not my thing. Like,
wasn't that funny? Wasn't that funny when I moved into this house? That was funny as shit when I moved into this house. And there's all these broke people telling me what I should do with my money.
Yeah. Like the only thing that I have is what I haven't seen yet is a pool fail. I know it's coming. You're gonna be walking and it's gonna be.
Isn't that funny?
No, I need a new iPhone.
Funny? And I'm gonna follow it. Well, aren't these things supposed to be waterproof? Well, let's put it to the test. An intentional pool fail would be hilarious. That would be funny.
I want to be respectful of time. I know you got a lot of things going. I really appreciate you coming on. I knew that. I figured that we'd end up doing a little coaching like from the biology and everything. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful that we got into the mindset here at the end, because you don't get to where you're at without having that strong mindset and being in a place of lack. And that's what so many people out there, unfortunately, we're living in a place of scarcity instead of abundance. And I mentioned that about the real estate community, where there's so many freaking opportunities out there. Why am I not going to go partner up with people? And there are going to be things that you haven't seen yet. I don't see inside of ECA that, man, this thing is going to blossom into places. So just having that, like, where are the opportunities? What can we go do together? The living in a place of abundance. I don't have to hide stuff from everybody. There's so much out here. I have some questions that I've asked everybody on the podcast. Before I ask, what's the best place for people to reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about ECA, learn more about what you're doing?
Yeah, you can find me on 100% of social media platforms. Just look up Justin Mihaly, Mihaly. I anticipate that the YouTube will be back by this evening, even though we were just taken down last night. So it'll be back up there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. Just look up my name, and hopefully I'll be dropping some sauce for you guys wherever you
Truth
are.
Social, is that?
Oh man, I'm not on Truth Social. I will say maybe that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's what's holding me back from a $15 million a year. Dang it.
That's yeah, sure. Yeah. call out right now. Okay. What
that's funny.
you've mentioned a few things here, but if you had to pick one, like, what's one life lesson that you learned? What's the biggest thing? How did you learn it?
It's got to be the internal dialogue. I used to think it was like woo-woo bullshit. And then when you start really going through stuff, I mean, when you go through like some real shit,
Mm-hmm.
the voices in your head get real loud and real negative, and you start feeling real down on yourself. I mean, you got to be in complete control of those. You got to be able to rein those back in. You got to be able to pull yourself out the mud. And I've had to do that quite a few times in my professional life and in my personal life. You better talk real freaking nice to yourself. I mean, you better be locked in. The world sees you the way that you see you. So if I don't see myself as the greatest to ever do it, which I know that I am, why would anybody else see me as the greatest to ever do it? I'm not worthy of that if I don't see that myself.
Yeah. Wow. I know it is like this thing for me was woo woo for a very long time too.
The journal.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah.
I had, as a guy, like, journals for girls, teenage girls, they have the pink, fluffy pink pen, right? Like, and they're writing how I've said this so many times, like, they're writing how cute Brad is and how he winked at her in the hall. Like, that's not what that is, but it's woo woo until you start doing it. Okay. Exactly. Really crunch for time here. If you could have dinner with anybody throughout history, who would it be? What would you want to talk about?
I would just want to go to dinner with my grandpas. My grandpa Mahaley passed away when I was 12. My grandpa Mertens passed away when I was the year that I moved to Austin. So I'd have been 25. I know that they're watching me from above, but I would just like to chat with them about the things that they knew I was going to be great. They knew that I was the grandchild that was going to do different stuff. They knew that, but they didn't have any idea that it would be this. And I know that they know from up there, but I would just like to chat with them. I would do I would give anything. I would give anything.
Yeah. When I sat down and thought of that, like, not that I came up with that question, but like, what questions would I ask? I was just like, Gandhi, geez, like those, but those are the ones that have impacted me the most. Like this that I didn't even think of, because I would want to sit down with my grandparents, right?
Yeah, I just want my grandpas.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like,
I don't really look up to many people either.
Yeah.
I don't think people are all that cool. I kind of look up to myself. Is that very narcissistic?
Yeah, that's it.
It's all right.
That Justin's pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that guy's lit for real.
If when your time on this earth is done, you're wherever you believe you go, what do you want to be remembered for by the people you left behind?
grit, determination, extreme passion, searching for truth, forging my own way, taking a bunch of other people there with me, a leader of innovative people who want to genuinely see change in the world as positive. I used to want people like, I hope they remember me as like making them feel good on shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you feel good. I want to change the goddamn world.
Yeah.
Things are bad. Things are bad. I mean, our health is bad. The way that people talk to themselves is bad. The wages that people live with is bad. The economic infrastructure to make it in this country is bad. So I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to empower you to be able to go out and make a shit ton of money, to teach a shit ton of people, to lead them on a journey to forge a new way to do health. And I don't want to make you feel good. I don't want to make you feel warm, cozy, and welcome here. I want you to know if you're supposed to be here, if you're not supposed to be here. And most people shouldn't be here. And I want that. That's what I want. So yeah. I believe I very firmly believe that my legacy will be one of impact and disruption and innovation.
I think it already has.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on, man. If you would hang out just for a minute to make sure it's, I mean, you don't have to actually be here. You could just leave the browser open to make sure the recording's up. I appreciate you, man.
I got you. Thanks so much for having me on, Nathaniel. I hope that this was valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Mihaly, everybody. I had a feeling that we'd talk about a bunch of different stuff. I hope that you guys learned a little bit from him along the way. And the most impactful thing we have. And you can tell that it has made a large impact in his life, how he talks to himself and how he doesn't talk to himself anymore. If you're still here, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Networking with Nathaniel. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up so it helps us to reach more people, especially on YouTube, and share it with a friend. See you next week.